literally pulled these out and you put them back in the envelope.
You put him back. Literally, you did that.
I didn't do that. How did I do that?
Did I show you that one?
No, I didn't. You did it. You did it, you dork. Gosh. You're an airhead. What's going on? What's up? What's up?
Fighting over here.
Dude, I pulled these out of the envelope and then he literally goes and puts them back in the envelope.
I did it on purpose. I did it on purpose.
To drive me crazy.
Yes. Yes.
So just in case you guys don't remember, next weekend here in Florida, if you live here, no, just let it roll a little bit. We're gonna Sunday the 14th. We are going to be at Amplified Auto Sports for the sound quality competition. Here is their cool address. But yes, we're gonna be there. It isn't.
What's that, Johnny?
An Iasca and Mecca event. We're gonna be following around Jeff Smith as he hopefully has his car done by then. So we'll see.
It's fight every day here, man.
Fight. Yeah, no, just
fight
more.
with the cars.
I don't fight with the cars. I fight with you.
No,
You know, drive me nuts.
I'm not a fighter.
You're a lover? Air compressor, you shut that off, right? Did you turn it back on? After you turned it off? Sure? Sure?
I do that just so I can drive you crazy, you know? Because I know you're like, what?
Thank you for programming the DSO1. It works great. Awesome.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So it's Saturday. Thank God it's Saturday, people. That's all I gotta say. It was an interesting week.
Yeah, let me turn it down a little bit more.
Just pull it. Just pull it.
There you go. That's it.
And the music. So for those of you wondering, do we do alarms? Yes, we did an alarm today. That was exciting. Yay, please.
And I believe that
help.
was the first one of the year. You say no.
I don't think it was, but hey,
Yeah,
from Detroit, what's up, fellas? Mike, what kind of help do you need? I'll do it with a fighter. No, he's a lover. He's a wuss. Let's be honest.
No, I'm a lover, man.
Yeah. Anyways, so how was your week?
That was really good.
You've been coughing all week.
I've been coughing all week.
So that's been
Fever
fun.
and everything.
All day long. Just so he's gonna be coughing throughout the show.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone.
What's up, Robert?
And okay, what's up? What's up? Did an alarm? Yeah, what's up? He's nuts. Bobby's in the house.
What's
Hello.
going
Hey,
on?
from Kentucky. Hey, grab me the tone generator.
Of course.
So we did have a winner for last week, but I haven't notified the winner of the tone generator yet. But if you weren't here last week, until we hit 100,000, we're going to be giving away one of the tone generators that we use
every week,
every show. So every week between now and when we get 100,000, we're going to be giving one of these away. It's going to be somebody randomly picked between the YouTube and the Facebook show live. It has to be one of the live questions. So if you're watching this after the fact, I'm sorry. Watch the Facebook or, and chime in. So if you ask a question or if you just chime in and say what the weather is at the time or whatever or what's going on or anyone that has this so we can see that you talked with us is eligible to win one of these. So we got a bunch of them and we're going to give them away. We might sell them once the contest is over if it's something that everyone wants.
Is Morel speaker loud?
It can be. So the thing with the Morel is not really efficient. So I know, or trust me, I'm waiting for 100K so I can take like 6 months off. I'm not going to, I'm joking. Take like 5 minutes off. So the the thing with the Morel is because it has such a big voice coil, it makes it not very efficient. So when you take, let's say, a Morel mid-range and compare it to like a Focal mid-range, the efficiency is going to be totally different. So that means when you put, let's say, 1 watt, 1 meter on a Morel, 1 watt, 1 meter on a Focal, the Focal will be louder. It'll be perceived as louder because it's more sensitive. However, once you give them the power they need, they will be very loud. Very loud. Okay. But that's the thing. So I've heard them referred to as power hungry, which is probably an accurate description. You can't put 70 watts, or you can't put like 50 watts to them. Like the Virtus, you're not going to put 50 watts to them. You might put 70 or 100 or 120 to them. Like when we do the Virtus 3-way set, we take the 5-channel and we bridge it to a 3-channel. So there you go. Raining like crazy here. Oh, that sucks. Did you ever have a problem with an Amp Pro on a Tundra and the remote is always on through your car? So that is weird. Actually, unless you're the same one that keeps asking that question, I think somebody else had that problem. So basically what you want to do is give Amp Tech Support a call for sure, because that's stuff they want to know, and they log every call. When Ernie took over tech support, he bought this really nice software that logs everything. So now every question that is asked is searchable. So if there's ever been an issue, they'll be able to search it and figure it out and hopefully find you a problem for that. Looking for a new daily driver and wondering what is better for aftermarket car audio, new Chrysler 300 or Hyundai Aqua? Ooh. I don't think either one of them is good for like a radio. However, if you go with the Chrysler and it has the premium sound system in it, like the Dre, the Alpine, the Boston Acoustics, or anything like that, then you can add something like an Amp Pro or an AR to it and get a full preamp section, or you can add something like soon-to-be LCQ, or I'm sorry, the D6 1200,
yep.
a Forza.
The Forza,
Forza,
from
and then a couple
Addison,
other amplifiers will be coming on board that will be direct plugins for that. The Kenwood DSP 6.600 is also something that is a plug and play.
Yeah. Somebody asked about drilling a hole. We always drill a hole. It doesn't matter if that's a 2015, 16, 17.
Oh, through the firewall?
To the firewall. We always drill a hole.
The only time we're not drilling holes, obviously, if there's an existing grommet there that has nothing. Or there's a grommet that's like that big, so where we're going to go through it is clearly nowhere near any of the factory wiring.
But in the Toyota Camry that he was talking about, drill a hole.
Yeah.
Just drill a hole. Make sure you like.
Thank you, Andrew. How to keep from working? I have it turned off and it's still increasing. Oh, automatic speed. Wow. Okay, how do I keep ALS from working? I have it turned off and it still increases with speed volume. Well, that's weird. No idea there. Sorry. Can you retain a backup camera on 2018 RAM with the aftermarket radio? Yes, that's totally doable. If you have a 2018 RAM, I would strongly recommend going with the iData piece. That would be the Maestro RR. That's going to be the one you're going to want to go with. So I would go that way. What do you got here?
Using the X series, I don't know. Using the X series Alpine,
yep,
and an F250, they aren't cheap. Did they make a good decision, or should I go with full cow or more? Listen, a little bit everything. I'm sorry, Morale.
No, actually,
most likely hip hop and pop.
So
the X series are awesome.
Is really nice. So Alpine is unique in that Alpine builds a very flat speaker. And what I mean by flat is that it's like out of the box, it's just dying to be EQ'd. Okay, so like when you demo them on the board, and there's no equalization done to them, it's like they're very like But once you start EQing them, then it's like So no, X-Type is an exceptional speaker. Very nice, very nice. You will not be disappointed. I would strongly recommend doing a little bit of sound treatment in the door. Whatever flavor you want is up to you. But you're definitely going to want to do something because those are big, empty doors just waiting to vibrate. And you can get a ton of mid-bass out of those speakers. So sound treatment, a lot.
Yep.
More the better. There should be an amp tracker like that's a good idea.
What?
So like the Phantom trucks, be able to track them and see where they're at. I'll parlay that to the people in amp so they know. Good idea.
Okay.
So like you could see if it's going to be in your area. That would be neat.
Like an Uber tracker.
Yeah. Good idea. Yeah. I'll pass that along, and I'll get laughed at, but I'll pass it along nonetheless because that was a great idea.
What? So you can request it?
Yeah. No, I'll call Eckley, and because he's the guy that's in charge of all that stuff now.
All right. Cool.
What to say? Have you had a chance to hear the Fosgate T1S 1X12 in the Slim Trucks style box? Yes. Have we heard it? Yeah. Which is a good idea. Okay. So back of a 2012 Camaro. No, I would not put that in the back of a Camaro. So they make the 12, which is sealed, and they make the 10 that is ported, or they make the 10 that was sealed. I personally like the 10 ported better than I like the 12 sealed. I think you agree with me on that one.
Yeah.
Would I put that in a Camaro? I would put the 10 ported before
definitely.
I put the 12 sealed.
Yeah.
The 12 sealed was a total like...
I didn't like it. Honestly, I didn't like it.
But personally... You could fit the P312 112 box in there. Like it fits right in, no problem. We've done them. way, way better. You can also fit the 210 box, 3s, 2s, or 1s, it doesn't matter, if you take the box apart. So if you take the grill off, take the subwoofers out, you can get the box in and then rebuild it in the trunk.
Yeah. So, okay, so I'm going to say the 12, it doesn't sound bad. It's not like what I like.
No, I'm
just not a booty guy. Yeah.
I mean, I suppose if you let it play for like 3 or 4 months and let it break in, it probably sounds fine.
But it doesn't sound bad.
Instantaneous gratification. I like
personal
the way
preference.
That the port sounded way better. The 10
do you guys do alarms and remote starts? Yes, we actually did one.
Very few of them, but yes. We try to avoid it at all costs. It's not really. How do you set a game with the DD1 with an Epicenter? Oh. Disconnect the Epicenter. First off, because when you read the instructions for the DD1, it tells you to turn off all your EQs and fun stuff like that. What you really need to worry about on that is your gain overlap. Know that when you're going to be using an Epicenter, you're going to be adding. Hey, Andrew. Know that you're going to be putting in a lot of boost. So if you're a negative 10 dB overlap guy, go negative 5 dB. I would recommend, if you've never heard the system before, start at 0, which is like, but start at 0 and then plug in your Epicenter and see how that sounds. You might be able to go up to negative 5. You might want to stay right at 0. When we did the last one in the Camaro, we did it at negative 5, as we said in the video. It worked out perfectly. So, but Epicenter out of the loop, tune it, put the Epicenter back in the loop.
Alright, I just replayed my door speakers when I turned the volume up to 30 on my Kenwood and hear a loud thumping. Sound from what it sounds like only
faulty speaker.
A faulty speaker installation issue.
Crossovers. Do you have the crossovers turned on? That would be a big hint. Other thing too is that when you're going all the way up to 30 without crossovers on, the speakers are hating you. Really hating you, because it's deck power. It's that 18 watts or 14 watt amplifier in there that's really not made for like, If you're going to be doing that, I recommend getting a small amplifier to power them. Something in the range of, pick one, Kicker Key 455U from Alpine. If you're a Kenwood guy, Kenwood makes one. I don't remember the model number. It's KAC something. You have the auto control for AMC 4.300.
Oh, it's
there's a ton of little. Stinger makes one. That's the Stinger 4.3. No,
I'm sorry, Stinger. Yeah.
I just turned it off. Oh, that's Andrew. He's watching and texting. Oh. What a guy. Anyways, so, or maybe it was a different Andrew.
Probably.
Too many Andrews. Too many Andrews. No, I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
Anyways, so yeah, that's where you want to do. Definitely check that. What's it say? What's test the DMM?
DMM can I do? Right there.
Digital multimeter. Where did it go?
I do right there in that row.
Can I do to determine if a sub is blown? Well, the digital multimeter, the only thing you can, if it's got a shorted out voice coil, you can put the digital multimeter on, if you have your digital multimeter, like this guy right here, and you go ahead and you switch it to ohms, which is that, and you put these leads on the woofer. If this goes to something like what it looks like right now, if you put it on continuity and it's doing something like this and it still shows all those zeros like that, that means the subwoofer has a shorted voice coil. That's about it that you can do with your test. Now, with your digital multimeter, that doesn't mean, or if you get no reading, like if it's just not doing anything, that means that it's an open voice coil. You could have a collapsed spider, you could have lots of other problems to be, you could have a seized voice coil, but that's really all you can do with a digital multimeter. If you're getting, all
right. In a Chrysler 300, it's a center channel, 2 dash speakers, 2 door front speakers, and 2 rear deck speakers. Can I run the dash speakers with the deck and then the rest speakers with an amp?
No, you can, yes, but why would you?
You can, but no.
So here's what you want to do is not do that. What you want to do, so deck power, RCA power. If you go back and watch any one of our radio dynos, you see that the deck power, when you turn up the volume, dies just dead at like 24 or 28, whereas the RCA preamp section goes all the way up to like 38, now 39. So that's a lot. So in order for them to all play at the same level and not like distort, you have to set it for the lowest common denominator, which is 28, which means you have to gain up the amplifier because 28 is as loud as you can get it, which means you're going to be making the gain section on the amplifier more sensitive and more susceptible to noise. There's an easier solution than doing that, and that's called a bass blocker or a capacitor. Buy yourself a 47 microfarad capacitor. We have them on the DNF tool drawer. Somewhere on there is the link to the 47 microfarad capacitors. I believe we call them, it's either 47 or they're called the 3.5. I might actually put them by their size. I don't remember which one. Buy them, they're $7. What you're going to do is you're going to put that capacitor onto the smaller speaker, and then you're going to run them parallel with the mid-range in the door. Perfect, no problem. What that bass blocker is going to do is cross that speaker over at a higher frequency than the mid-range. So now you can set the crossover point for your 6x9 and not have to worry about that speaker up in the dash blowing. It's a beautiful thing. Or the other solution would be to buy a small amplifier to power them. But don't use your deck. That sucks. Okay.
All right. I killed my Type S, 12 subwoofer with my MRV P500. What should I upgrade it to?
Type R.
Type R12.
I mean, if you like Alpine, go with the Type R. Otherwise, personally, like a P312 is one of my favorite boomy subwoofers. There's a slew of subwoofers. I mean, we carry all different kinds. I mean, if you like more of a dry tight bass, you have like a Kicker makes dry tight subs. You go crazy and go with like a Scar, like a 500 watts. You get it in a VVX almost.
Art.
Put the R's. Yeah. So there's a lot. I mean, you just want to find. So if you have a 500 watt amp, you want to find something that has a peak power of, let's say, 1,000 watts, because typically when you got to divide it in half. So something like that has a peak power of 600 watts is really, or 1,200 watts, or 1,000. Like an R-Type has a peak power of like 1,000 watts. It means 500 watts on it is perfect all day long. So I got them 3.5-inch Pioneers going to run off the deck. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Okay.
I got a new head unit, Pioneer MBH, from a cheaper Kenwood. For a cheaper Kenwood, my Rockford P310 volume is really low, even after getting the adjustment working right before the swap.
Could be a problem with the preamp inputs.
All right.
Yeah, so we have the RFP 310, really low, even after gain adjustment, worked great before. Okay.
So, do you put it in the...
Where's the RCA?
Yeah, exactly. Going in through the sub, not the rear.
The other thing too is that, okay, so did the MVH have 6-channel preamp output? That's important, because if it didn't have 6-channel preamp output and only have 4-channel preamp output, you have front, you have rear/sub. Not a problem. You have to make sure though that the rear/sub is set to rear deck power and sub, so they call it rear sub. There's 3 different settings. There's rear, rear sub, and sub. You want it for rear sub if you're using, because you'd be using that. Easiest way to test it is when you go through the audio settings on the radio, do you have a subwoofer level control? If you don't, the deck is set up wrong. And the subwoofer level control should control the volume. So if it's not there, turn it into turn source off, go into the menu, and you can find the speaker adjustment there where you can switch it to rear sub. Hope that helps.
Box better than... Okay, so it's a Porter OCO box better for the Alpine Type S. What do you think? Type S.
What do we want? Ported or sealed?
Ported or sealed?
Ported.
I like ported. I like ported box.
I like it ported.
Okay, so...
Okay, so I think that guy's just being it.
Yeah, that's fine. LC7i, can I use the third input channel for the mono sub and the center channel individually? Or not?
I don't think so. Do you have your... I don't know where I put all my stuff at. Do you still have yours? I don't think it's built that way. I think you'd need to go with the 8.
LC what?
7. 6 would work too. It's the same thing. Yeah, just bring me that. I just need to see the flow chart on it. See, the problem you'd run into is that there's not an individual channel level control, so your preamp for your subwoofer and your preamp for your center channel will be the same, but it would be driven differently, meaning the output, no, you're not gonna, I mean, you can, but I wouldn't do it at all. Plus, the other thing you might have to worry about is crosstalk between the two. I mean, they're built really well, but I definitely wouldn't do that. Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Okay.
All right, so the question of the day is, what is the difference between an SPL sub versus a low-end bass sub, guys?
Okay, I don't know if that's a question of the day, but, you know, okay, so when you're looking at something like, move your head. When you're looking at something like this guy here, or we got this guy right, so we'll grab. So this would not be considered an SPL subwoofer by any stretch of the imagination. This would be considered more mainstream, okay? The SPL subwoofer is going to have a surround on it that's going to be, I don't know, double this width, maybe triple this width, and of course a lot taller. Although this woofer can handle a ton of power, this still wouldn't be considered an SPL driver. So most of your SPL drivers are made to handle an obscene amount of power. They also are usually one-trick ponies, meaning they play deep, low bass, like all the videos that you see where the guys are just, you know, the subs are just going.
Oh, look at that.
Okay,
that's my imitation.
So, not that you can't do that with a normal driver, you can. We did it for years before the super motor structure woofers came out. You know, a lot of the times we'd rely on the box in order to create the subwoofer sound. Now, with these guys, we're relying on the motor structure. That's why you have the big magnet, the giant spiders, the 4-inch voice coils, the big surrounds, because it's 100% speaker. Like when you see like Steve Meade power up that speaker on the seat and it's just doing this with not in a box. The reason why he can get away with that is because the motor structure is what's controlling the driver. The box is just tuning the output. A normal driver, let's say like this guy right here, you know, in the old days, this guy right here, without the box, you'd destroy this in a heartbeat if you tried to do what he's doing on that, because it was box reliant for the motor structure. The box was part of it. In those SPLs, the box is just there to tune the output. The speaker doesn't care if it's in that box or not. So, kind of an idea there. Thanks for the stickers. You're welcome. What could be the problem with... Okay, we can't both read it at the same time.
Okay, go ahead.
What could be the problem for alternator whine? I have my RCAs ran separately from my power wire, but still have a slight whine. There's a couple things that create alternator noise, or whine as it is. It could be a bad ground somewhere via the car's electrical system, the amplifier itself, or the radio. The amplifier. Or the amplifier itself could just be something wrong with the amplifier. If you take the amplifier out of the car and power it up somewhere else, not using the car's battery, and you still have the whine, then you know that the whine is coming from the head unit. You have a head unit problem.
I'm guessing start with the ground.
Start with the
ground. Then if you have like an extra RCA, try the RCA.
Yes, SPL woofers also need a boatload of power, and that's because the motor structure is that's how they're built. The motor structure relies on the fact that you have a ton of power to move it. That's how you can move them, because you have a ton of power. Since you said I can retain factory backup camera onto the ring, it plug and play, or do I have to do something else? There again, if you go to idata.com or idatalink.com, go to the Maestro page, which is going to be the green page, not the yellow page. You can type in your make, model, and year. It'll give you the parts that you need. Then you can go to the instruction manual for the harness they tell you need for your car, and it will show you exactly how to put it in. If you see a picture of an RCA, which I'm pretty sure you're going to, it's plug and play. I'm pretty sure it's plug and play, but do your due diligence and look. That's why they have it on the web, so that if you're, get the nervousness out, you can see, yes, it's there. But that's what you want to do, just to make sure.
All right, will you put two highs, two lows, because the engine noise on a 2016 Wrangler?
Could you? I don't understand. Putting two highs.
Okay.
Yeah, two highs cause engine noise on a Jeep. No.
So I'm saying like tweeters and mid-range?
No. No, I mean, on a Wrangler, we've never got noise on a Wrangler, ever.
No.
So if you got noise on a Wrangler, might be the equipment.
Might be the equipment.
Might be the equipment. Or the install. There again, always check your grounds.
Yes, always check your grounds, yeah.
Grounds are
going
important.
to the factory
What was Jeff talking about the other day? Oh, well, if it's the factory radio, no, there's another guy talking. Jeff was talking about something, but there was another guy that was having an issue. That was on a factory radio, though. Never mind. I'm out. Okay.
All right.
Cool. See you next week.
All right.
Two highs, two. Oh, geez. Okay, that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah? What are we talking about?
Oh yeah, almost forgot to ask. My F250 upgrade. What should I do with the center channel? Delete it or replace it with a speaker to which requires another amp? I would delete it.
Yeah.
So there again, there's a term in this industry called one-person, two-person soundstage. Most,
right now,
99% of people are doing what's called a one-person soundstage. One-person soundstage is the driver. Okay, you have a speaker here, speakers in the back, subwoofer. You put some form of a DSP in it. You've EQ'd it, you've time aligned it, and everything. What that's going to do is give you imaging, and it should make it sound like your main vocal is coming out of the center of your dash. Nothing makes me happier than when we get done with the car and the customer goes, "Oh, I thought you were deleting the center channel." And I go, "Move a little bit this way and lean forward." They go, "Oh, wait, there's no sound in the center." Right. It's an illusion. Just like if you have a really nice home stereo and you play left and right and it sounds like and you're at just the right distance, it sounds like the singer's in the middle and all the instruments are behind you. That's what we're talking about when we talk about soundstage and imaging. With the center channel, you can create what's called a two-person car, meaning passenger and driver. However, you need an upmixer. An upmixer is something that takes a left signal and a right signal, combines the two, and gives you a channel in which to take your main vocal out and make it center, and it also deletes it from the left and right. That's a very expensive processor. Most processors don't have that feature, so the easiest thing to do is just delete it.
All right, so check this out.
I'm checking it out.
All right, my 3P 500.1 BD amps make a strange
squealing noise for a few seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, for a few seconds after starting my car. It only does for a few seconds, and it is literally coming from the amps.
Is this normal? So the noise you're hearing is actually the internals of the amplifier, and typically what causes that is some form of an overload of power, either signal or power itself. Is it normal? No, it's not normal at all. Really the only time we'll get it is if we're turning the gain up too high and you're really making those MOSFETs hate each other, the input section of the amplifier. Sometimes you can actually, if your gains are up too high, you can actually hear the amplifier singing to you. It's quite amusing. So what I would probably do is, first things first, make sure your gains are set properly. And if they are, then I'd move over to the voltage side of things and maybe take your multimeter and see what's happening when your car is starting. See what's going on. See what kind of voltage they're getting. That's kind of weird. Also, you can set your voltmeter to AC and see what kind of sound you're getting. The other thing, too, is you can probably just disconnect your RCAs and see if that's causing, if it's an input problem with startup there. So, yeah, I would disconnect the RCAs. See, you just have power hooked up, and that will tell you. And if you're getting it with no RCAs hooked up, and then put a voltmeter on there and see what's happening when the car starts. See if there's some strange amount of current coming into them that they might not like, I don't know, 18 volts or some strange stuff like that.
All right, is there a side... Oh my God. Jesus. Is there a side camera kit that can be put on the passenger side mirror on the display on the head unit when the right directional it's on? My wife's CRV has it factory.
Yes.
And I would like to, yes, it has.
So that's the...
EchoMaster.
So yeah, EchoMaster, and then they make the BCI 41.
Yep.
The BCI 41 has 4 triggers on it, so you can use them by hooking up to the the turn signals, and it will automatically turn them on. Now they also make an under mirror mount camera too, which I don't have the model number for off the top of my head, but it's a 90-degree under mirror mount camera. So EchoMaster.com is a place you want to go. You can probably type in the search field. They probably have a category for mirror mount.
That's crazy.
What?
Jason.
What? Have a great show day. Going to have to bow out. My car just started running like a lawnmower. Ooh. Well, that sucks, man. we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful weekend, or a better weekend. Hey guys, I rock for P12. Man. Can I add an Epicenter to it? No freaking way. Not a P312. No. You really don't need one with a P312. An Epicenter won't really do anything for that. If you want to add an Epicenter, get a really big one. Hey guys, would the kicker front row be okay as a DSP?
Which one?
The front row. You know, honestly, I've sold one front row. I brought a second one in to try to sell it. Never had any luck with that. Yeah, you could kind of use it as that. I mean, that's what it was designed to do. Not like a real DSP, but it's kind of like a DSP. Personally, I wouldn't spend the money on it. I'd just go right for a full DSP. I mean, that would probably be better. You know, you could get a DSR1 pretty reasonable, and if you have an iPad or something like that, you can have a lot more adjustment.
All right. What's the Alpine RA75M? Or the Rockford Compound Boot?
I think that's the new guy. That's the new R-type amplifier.
Okay.
Size-wise, the Rockford like T750.1, which is I think you're referring to, is way smaller. It's also 1,000 watts. So I don't think I've seen one. I think the lowest I've seen one of those Rockford comes in is 750. The Alpine is going to be closer to the 750, so it's not going to be overbuilt like the Alpine. I mean, like the Rockford. If it really comes down to what you got. You know, we go with the T750.1 because it's a form follows function kind of thing. We need something that's small and powerful. We go with that. If we have more room, we look to something else. So, not that there's anything wrong with those amplifiers. It's just, if we got room, let's use something else because it's, you know, why not?
Hey, do we have a video on the Ampro on the Toyota?
I honestly don't know.
Oof, man.
I don't know.
Okay, so the guy, he said he have the noise. He also has a 320 amp alternator. You know, that helps too.
Coming from yeah, that could be it. You might have a problem like I've said always about alternators is that if you can't change them yourself, then don't get one because they're going to break at some point. Yeah, you could have something that's going on. At that point, knowing that, I would probably take your digital multimeter, set it to voltage, go directly into the amplifier, start up the car, and see what's coming into those amplifiers on startup. Maybe you have, like I said, like 18 volts coming into those amplifiers, and you're just lighting them up like a Roman candle before it idles back down to the 14 volts that they need to be at. So at that point, it might just be whatever the voltage regulator on the alternator is could be going bad.
Right.
Are the new kicker L7Rs any good? I'm trying to debate on replacing the audio from our L7Rs. Are those the shallow ones?
L7Rs?
Which ones are these?
The L7Rs are the new ones. Yeah, the L7.
Well, this is just the L7.
No, this is the Q.
Yeah.
That's the Q one. The L7s are the new ones.
Is that the blue ones?
That's the red ones now.
Are they red?
They are red, yeah.
Oh, wow. Haven't heard them.
Haven't heard them. No.
You know, okay, so...
Yeah, but I don't think they are.
They're not
there.
on here.
No.
So, oh no, they are. L7Rs, right there.
Okay.
Yeah, we have heard those.
You see, I told you, they're red.
They're red, yeah.
The stitching is red.
So if you like the old L7, it's the same speaker. So
different stitching?
Different stitching.
Because the L7S is blue.
Yes. So actually, this is a downgrade then. So this is probably like an L5. See,
like
Kicker made this, okay,
in the center.
which is awesome because I can never remember. They make too many subs, and I told them that when we were there. I was like, "You guys make way too many subs because I can't remember half of these things." And it's like you don't need this many drivers. And they're like, "Yeah, but we sell them all. Yeah, whatever." So the L7R is basically going to be like a cross between an L5 and an L3. It's not a bad woofer. You know, if you like that square woofer moves more air. Gonna be a little louder. You know, when you do set L7s, S's, that's impressive. That box is like, whoa.
All right, I have a 4Escape hybrid, and I was thinking of installing some Focal KR 130s with the sub and amp. Is this what? Advisable?
Advisable with a hybrid vehicle with no
alternator, thanks.
Well,
Well,
Ford Escape doesn't have.
well, we put a gigantic.
Yeah, but that has
15.
an alternator.
The Prius?
The Prius has an alternator. Yeah, it has a generator. It powers the small battery. Yeah, I mean, you could do it. Just keep it in check. The other thing too, you have to make sure. Like, I don't know that one off the top of my head. I know some of the new hybrids are coming with the 12 volt as part of the actually hybrid battery. In which case, that's kind of scary because there's only like a small output that actually powers the car systems, in which case adding in like a 75 amp extra on top of that's not a great idea. You may need to add a second battery and a means to charge it with some form of a switching relay in there so you can turn it on and off. But yeah, that's a tough one. Hybrids are funny.
Yes, Kyle, 2016 Silverado 8-inch screen, non-Bose, have access DSP, and it's nothing but issues with it. Should I get the pack AP4 GM61 and the RP5 GM51?
Well, the RP5 GM51 is to put in a new radio. If you're planning on keeping your factory radio, go with the pack AP4 GM61.
Yeah. The running active setup, it will be adding a DSP, definitely.
Yeah. Yes. Totally do that. So the one thing I recommend is if you haven't done it already, go and watch we have 2 videos on the Silverado. One is with Bose, one is without Bose. The first one is without Bose. Go watch that because there's a switch on there, switch number 3, that if you put that in and you get an issue when you're listening to tuner of any kind, only one side plays, and there's a switch number 3, you flick that, and it mirrors that side over to the other side only on the tuner. And then when you're listening to media like CD, if it has it, or Bluetooth, thumb drive, USB, or CarPlay or anything like that, it doesn't, it negates that, but it's true stereo. But that's it. Otherwise, yeah. So what that'll do is that'll give you a full, true preamp section out of the radio that you can go straight into a DSP.
All right, this one. I think he asked this one twice.
Hey, Dina, first, should I power the radio off my battery bank, or is it okay to use the battery that starts the car? I've always used the battery that starts the car. That's a debate, as everything else in car audio is. It's like, oh. I've never had an issue doing it with a second battery. I've always used the main car battery to start the car, just because. Why not? It's never been an issue.
Yeah.
I know sometimes people will have noise, and somehow that fixes it. I feel that if you have noise and you're doing that, there's other issues at play that's probably not what's fixing it. But yeah, I've always just used car power to power my radio.
All right, I have a large system in my Prius around.
I also don't ground to the back battery. I ground to the frame.
Okay.
Some people like to, do batteries and all that. So, there again, whatever works for you. Go ahead.
Oh, no. That way I was just reading. He got a Prius and he got tons of power. Never problem. That's good.
Second battery, high power alternator, or one better replacement XR power or slimmer battery for low voltage issues. So, alternators are wonderful things. If your car has the ability to add a high output alternator to it, and there again, you know how to replace your alternator, buy one. Do it. Why not? However, most people don't, and most cars you can't add that big alternator to. So in that case, you add a second battery. Now, if you're the kind of guy that gets in your car, and as soon as you get in your car, you turn the volume all the way up. Your air conditioner's on, and you're driving down the road just all the way up. Well, yeah, you're going to need some way to charge that battery. You can always plug it in at night and charge it if you park in a garage or a carport or something like that where you have a way to charge it. You can charge it that way. But most of the time, you're not playing it balls to the wall 24/7. In which case, there is power that's being generated by your car that's going nowhere. It's not getting stored by the battery. It's just it can't go anywhere. So by adding the second battery, you're adding a bucket to the overflow. So it's capable of grabbing all that extra power that's not doing anything and storing it. Most of the time, I'd say a good 98% of the time when we add a second battery, we have no issues at all. It doesn't cause anything. We add plenty of battery to do what we need to do. Life is great.
All right.
Moves it along.
Last question for 2018 Ram backup camera. Ooh.
Okay.
Hang on. I was trying to. I talked to iData this week. They say the harness won't work because that year of the truck has
LVDs,
low video digital signal. So how
okay,
we get it to
if
work?
iData is saying it doesn't work, then it doesn't work, because that's the harness we would use. So if theirs isn't working, the pack doesn't work. There's the harness that we use. So if they're saying it doesn't work, then it doesn't work.
All right, somebody asked a good radio for sound quality. There it is. The Sony RSX GS9.
Keep in mind, if you're going to be playing this, it all depends on the source that you're trying to do. When you're trying to get sound quality out of something, what is the source that you're trying? What is your source that you're considering to be sound quality? So if you're just using your phone, and your phone is playing Pandora or Spotify, the low-res version of it, then yeah, who cares? It really doesn't matter. If you have a FLAC player, a bunch of FLAC files, some DSD files, something like that, well then yeah, you want something that can output that. That's what that radio is made for, is outputting those DSDs, those FLAC files. And if you're sitting there going, I have no idea what you're talking about, get a really nice CD player. PRS-80 is still the best high-end CD player. Everyone loves it.
PRS-80.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. PRS, look at that.
There you go.
Everybody.
Yep, the CD killer. Okay, yep. How do you decide what size fuse to use when putting an amp for sub? Well, most amplifier manufacturers will give you the amp rating either on their website or just on the amp itself. In lieu of that, you want to, if the amplifier has let's say the amplifier has a fuse on it, it's a 30 amp fuse, well, you're going to want to put a 60 amp fuse underneath the hood. That seems to be the rule of thumb, is to double whatever is back at the amplifier. You want to double that underneath the hood. Now, if you have no idea what it is, then you're going to use Ohm's law and figure out what your amperage draw is. You have 12 volts and you have 500 watts. You're going to do the math with Ohm's law to figure that out. You can look that up on the internet. And then you're going to want, there again, if it says it draws 30 amps of current, then you're going to want to put a 60 amp fuse underneath the hood.
Is there any way? Yeah,
I'm sorry. The fuse under the hood is only to protect the wire, not the amplifier. Okay.
What's up, Mauricio? Mauricio.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any way to get more output and lower tone from a 10 sub and a sealed box enclosure?
Do what now? Is there any way to get more output and lower tone from a 10-inch sub and sealed enclosure? Tune it different. Is it a ported box?
No, it's a
seal box.
Seal enclosure. Yes.
Okay, so all right, so here's the deal. You have to you build a different box. So if you want to get more output at a lower tone, you want a ported box. That's why you need a ported box. Now, there again, depends on what you're playing. So if you have the optimum sealed enclosure and you're playing, 80s rock music, the source doesn't have that low bass music, so the woofer can do it. That's what an epicenter is for. That's what an epicenter was made for. An epicenter was to take music that has no low bass, give you low bass. Now, if you're listening to hip hop and techno and house and all that stuff that has a boom sound and you're getting no bass, you have a sealed box. You need a ported box or a bandpass. And then you'll get tons of deep throaty, awesome bass.
Epicenter.
But epicenters, that's what an epicenter is made for, man.
Yeah.
If you want to see an epicenter in action, go back and watch part 4 of the Camaro video. The very end, we turn on the epicenter and you can hear the music we're playing with and without the epicenter.
Oh yeah.
And it's noticeable as heck on YouTube even. So I mean, you'll be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Yep. So, but yes, that's what an epicenter is made for.
Can the splash screen on the Kenwood 9904S be changed?
Yes. It's a total pain in the butt. So.
Okay, just yes.
Honestly, it's yes, but the answer is typically no, because it's such a pain to do. It's not worth it.
Nobody wouldn't do it?
It's not worth it. I will say, though, that is one of the cool features of the new Pioneers, that is super easy to do. I'm limited on being in a sealed box. Then you need an epicenter.
Yeah.
So if it's got to be a sealed box, you need an epicenter. There again, I don't know what you're trying to do, but the other thing too is how big is the box? Without knowing all the parameters, I'm generically recommending an epicenter.
The box,
it will make
sub.
if you go to our audio control playlist, we did a whole review of the Epicenter where we show you on an RTA what it's doing, playing music and all that fun stuff. And of course you can hear it in the other video I recommended. And you'll get an idea of what we're talking about, and you kind of wrap your head around it, because everyone is a visual guy, and that's why we do videos. I just ordered an Epicenter. You know, actually this week we got to meet the president of Audio Control, or CEO,
the CEO.
Alex, I don't know his last name, and it's not important. And last month, he was telling us how last month was the record amount of Epicenters sold. They sold more Epicenters last month than I think they've ever sold, he said. Yeah. Something like that. It was like, it was an obscene number.
Those lines.
So,
yeah.
Downfiring can help. Yes. However, you have to be real careful in the distance between the subwoofer and the floor if you're trying to get deep bass.
We haven't played with that DSP yet. We would love to play with the Helix. It's just
not
time.
Yet. Not yet. Slow. One day, yes. Right now, no.
Not yet.
We have other things that are things.
We have a lot of things.
Hey, let's be honest. I haven't even gotten to the Dayton Audio DSP
exactly.
yet. So I mean,
yeah.
And we got more coming. And it's we still got to review. Yeah, we got a lot of reviews.
We have
to do. Trying to get through all these head units.
It's
which I can tell you, I have no. You know, last week I gave you a clue what was coming next week. Right now, I have no idea what's coming next week. So I don't think the Epicenter would play nicely with the DSP and the kicker. Why wouldn't it? Yeah, it would. So okay, let me think this through. So the problem you'd run into, no.
What?
No, it would be fine. Yeah, no, it would work fine because you're still the crossovers after the Epicenter, which is what you need. You need the crossover after the Epicenter. So you're going to feed it a full range input, or at least something that's 200 hertz and above. Time correction. Well, if you're worried about time correction and deep bass, those are going to be weird, strange things. So you might run into a strange thing there. But we time corrected the Camaro, had no issues.
No issues.
So there again, that's still not going to play into it all that much. You can
X-Man, what's going on, man?
do volume control in the amplifier. So there again, there's not a problem there. No, you shouldn't have any issues whatsoever. It'd be just like going out of the Yeah. No. Yeah, you'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
Everything
is gonna be fine.
Yeah, you could do that. That'll work fine. I don't see any issues with that. Okay, go on.
When you guys gonna do a review of the 8500?
Never. Oh, yes.
85. The 85. Oh, I mean,
honestly, if you watch the 4500 video,
Yeah.
the only difference is a clear resistive screen. I'm sorry, capacitive touchscreen and GPS. Yeah. That's it. It's the only, and non-detachable face.
Right.
So you get a better screen, you lose the detachable face, you get GPS. Other than that, it's the same radio.
Exact.
Same.
Exact.
Right. So, I mean, I could do it, and the only difference between the 4500 and would be saying those three things. So it might be easier for me to say, go watch the 4500 video, and then the 8500 has these three things that are different. That's it.
Oh,
I mean,
thank you, Mark. Mark from Car Fabricator.
Is he there?
Yeah, is he there? Is he here?
That's what I said. Oh yeah, totally missed. Nice job.
On the
thanks,
4500.
guys.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah. So
now Mark knows about boxes and everything.
Go watch this.
So for the guy that he was asking. Yep.
What's up, guys? How are you? That is a very nice question, and thank you for asking. Right now, a little frazzled, kind of over the week.
I'm sick.
Need to get through this day and
to these final minutes.
Need to go for a run. That's all I'm waiting for.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I don't get to do tonight, which sucks. So tomorrow, extra long.
Oh, yeah, that's true, right?
It sucks. Yeah. Well, so I might have to break it up into two. If I can get up and go, I'll go in the morning, and then I'll be in pain. So then I'll wait and go again later in the day. So then I can go two. Or I'll just go one kind of long one at the end of the day. So, really excited. Really excited.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, day's almost over. Yes, it is.
Oh,
all right.
Man. It's been a long day.
All right, y'all got me back into car audio. I just installed the Sony. We just did a Sony media receiver and the door speakers and the dash. About 15 RAM last weekend. Nice, simple. Next is Sundown 12 and a Fox box.
Oh.
Whoa.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. That'll be awesome. Way to go. Glad we got. Hey, what's up, Axeman? You said that, I'm sure, right?
I said that.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Boss is on the shelf.
Boss is on the shelf.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Right, what am I missing here? Maybe a few beers. I don't drink. I'm the most boring person you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
Meat, as in I don't eat. I went from 1 cubic foot down to 3/4 of a cubic foot with my P310, and they did not sound anywhere near as good. P310s, love. Yes, that is correct. Bigger box, bigger bass. Power handling changes a little bit, but that's all right. Yay, the boring life.
Boss is boss.
So
yeah, the boring life. What happened?
What is a Fox box? Okay, good question. So, Paul, Fox Box is a company called Fox Acoustic. What makes Fox Acoustic really neat is a bunch of dudes out of Louisiana, and what they've done is they make rhino-lined enclosures for normal-sized woofers to go underneath the back seat of pickup trucks.
Yep.
So if you have, like in this case, a Dodge Ram, they make this giant box for 12's normal magnet to fit underneath the back seat. Now, in some cases, you do have to lift the back seat up, in which case they give you spacers.
And they give you that,
to lift the back seat up. They make them for mostly all the trucks. And
you gotta check.
They're big ported boxes. So, like, I know in a Tundra, is it the Tundra? The older Tundra? The older Tundra, they make a 212's ported box for it, and you can put a set of Rockford T1 12Ts, which is the truck boxes. Yeah. Now, the key is most of the boxes you will require a grill on top of your woofer because they are using every inch of available space. There's no room at all for anything, so you will need a woofer with a grill.
Yeah.
But
in some cars, yeah.
Gately boxes are awesome. It's a totally different thing. Gately boxes are one-off, like that Steve B box. They're very pretty. They're one-off. These are mass-produced CNC cut boxes that you can buy specifically for your vehicle. You call them up. They say, hey, no problem, man. It's on the way. Gately is custom, and they look they're really nice. Are doing...
Sounds like a Fox box will give you some fat bass.
Yeah, it was funny. I need the box for my car. I was kind of toying with the idea of having a Gately box built just because.
You're not gonna build it?
I'm not gonna build it.
Really?
Shut up. Sounds like Fox boxes will be give you some fat bass. They are some definite fat bass. I know we've had them in a couple of the videos we've done on the pickup truck. I just don't remember which ones.
Yeah.
If you have an F-150 and you want crazy bass in your F-150, you have to have a Fox box.
Yeah, it's just like
that's the Ram box is a bit obnoxious because you have to raise the seat up an inch and it hangs out over the cup holders. But if you want bass and keep the back seat, yeah, it'll do it.
F-150s all day long, man.
Yeah.
No problem.
So they are for trucks. Yes, they're for trucks. So that's the Fox box are strictly for trucks.
What do you think about the wireless adapters for backup cameras? That's funny, dude.
So Amp just came, or Echo Master came out with a new version of theirs, and we haven't had an opportunity to play with it because honestly, we just found out about it when we were at Knowledge Fest. I didn't know it was a thing. When it comes to those in a car, run a wire. If you have a trailer and you want to put it back out of the trailer, it's a great thing to have. Otherwise, run the wire. Just run the wire. You'll never have an issue when you run the wire. My T2 components and T1 coaxials are in custom sealed door paws. I think if I cross them over at about 50, they will sound great. If not, I'll go back to 60. Not bad. I mean, typically, we've played the T2. The T1s probably not. No, T2s you should be okay though. I think I've done them at 50. I've done them at 50 and it sounded good. Yeah. Yeah. Not the T1s though. Not the T1s. I've kept those.
No,
I keep those up.
T2.
But he said a T1s in the back. So I wouldn't try the T1s at 50. I wouldn't even keep them at 60 to be honest with you. Have you installed new Pioneer DSP? What do you think about the emergency brake cable and the bypass? The reason why it's there is because it's the DSP out of the radio, so it's got to be there. Did I finally give that back? No, it's still sitting on the shelf. Yeah, there it is right there. Okay. No, we actually haven't had any need to... I haven't been able to sell it to anybody. I've tried, and I just can't... I haven't found a need for it yet. It's going to be one of those things that it's just going to be like, oh, perfect. You know, it's a great little toy to have if you've never played with anything, but if you have a Pioneer radio, you have all those features built into it.
All right. How do you decide to pick the LP7 line output? Yeah, the LP7 or the LP3?
So, the LP3 is the cheapest line output converter they make in that series. It's not high power. It's basically just an inexpensive version of it.
I don't even think it has the load.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's just basic. It might. Who cares? But either way, the LP7. Okay, so we stock them all for people that come in and want to. But we only stock like 1 or 2 of those. The LP7 we stock a full shelf of. So the LP7, what makes the LP7 is it generates its own remote turn on. So there's 3 wires coming off of it. 3 wires coming off it. A red. Yeah. A black, a blue, and a yellow. The yellow goes to constant 12 volt. The black goes to ground. The blue is an output. Everyone always gets this wrong. Output. It's a remote output that goes off to your amplifier to turn on your amplifier. So what that means is you tap a speaker in the car, pick one that plays bass. You run a power and ground back from the battery or whatever. You hook the yellow up to the battery wire, the ground up to the ground, and the blue up to the amplifier. You're done. So you've tapped 2 wires in the car, the speaker wires. Everything else is off the battery.
That's it.
It makes your installation so much easier. Yeah. It's like, yes, awesome. Mm-hmm. So that's why we choose that
LP7.
Because I'm all for
and also they made
easy.
the LP7...
4.
No. The LP7 with the bass knob.
Oh, yeah. They make it with the bass knob.
So in case if you need like a bass control, boom, right there. All right.
So, as we said, this is a polarity tester, not a tone generator. Yep. If we're gonna pick somebody from one a week, so it's gonna be the live show. So if you've commented, you're eligible. We're gonna pick one of you guys either from this show or the Monday show, and someone's gonna get an email from me. Also, we didn't get a chance to talk about these. These are the Aussie irons. We bought 2 of them. We got to play with them. We're gonna put them on DNF Tool Drawer hopefully soon. We want to play with them some more, but we got them. We'll talk about them more once we've had some more time to beat them up and drop them and go to town on those. Teespring/store/5 stars, a place to go if you want to get the cool t-shirts like these that we're wearing. iTunes, go back, let me read the sign, good God. Bad. If you want to get a podcast, iTunes, Google Play Music, Podbean, we do it twice a month. It's a fun little half-hour show where we talk about a topic related to car audio. Patreon is the place you can go. If you want a video version of the podcast, become a Patreon member. Plus, it's just cool to support the show, and it helps, pay for things like those.
Yeah.
DNF Tool Drawer is the place you can go to find all the cool tools that we use in the videos for making the things. I don't think this has been spotlighted in the videos too much yet, but we have the other red panel tool. This guy here.
Oh, it's amazing.
Ooh, I have to make sure this is on DNF Tool Drawer because this guy... This is a must-have. Let me tell you what. This thing's bad. This was actually made for like the window shims. This is awesome for dashes. Holy crap. We'll talk more about that at another day. And of course, if you want stickers, the 5-star stickers, you can go to your home address needs to go to 5starstickers@yahoo.com. Put in your home address.
No questions. Just your home address.
Just your home address. And you'll get 3 stickers, no charge. They come your way, a big and 2 small.
That's it.
And that's it. And of course, as we said at the beginning of the show, if you want to meet us next weekend, if you're in Florida, we're going to be here on a Sunday, having lots of fun, just chilling. It's a sound contest.
Sound quality.
What could possibly be more fun on a Sunday?
Oh, man. More audio.
So...
All right, guys.
Fun
so thank you for watching.
Thank you so much, as always. You guys have a safe weekend. Remember, Uber and cheap. Uber
and cheap.
Uber and Lyft are cheap. Don't do anything stupid. But if you are, arrive alive. Because if you don't then you won't be able to be part of the fun next week when we're live again on Monday or rebroadcast on Tuesday.
And don't forget tax day.
God, yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. Hey, funny story before we end. Tax day is actually my wedding anniversary. Yay! Yeah. You didn't know that? I picked it because it was Saturday when I got married, and I wanted a Saturday off. It just corresponded to I would never forget it because it's tax day. So I know my wedding is every tax day. My anniversary is every tax day.
All right.
So it's like a bonus. Taxes and marriage. Yes.
Canada. All right. See you guys later.
You guys have a nice weekend. Bye.